What if studying for your exams was like a video game? You complete a quest and get a reward. You unlock a massage after 250 Pomodoros. This was what got me through my specialty exam study as a doctor. Everyone told me that this study block would be horrible. It would be grueling, isolating, burnout was basically guaranteed, and I was dreading it. And before I even started studying, I decided that I didn't want to burn out. I didn't want to hate the entire 12, 18 months that I was going to spend preparing for this thing. So almost without realizing it at the time, I created all these mini quests to just make the process a little bit, if not enjoyable, tolerable. So I created a checklist of these quests, and some were designed to help me study and stay on track with that. Others were to make sure that I actually looked after myself during the whole process. And a few were just about making the whole thing feel a bit more fun. So study goals, work-life balance goals, and vibe goals. Because passing an exam is great, staying sane while doing so, even better. So after I sat my exams, I actually read Ali Abdaal's book, The Feel Good Productivity, and my version's looking a little worse for wear because I took it into the sauna at the gym and it basically melted, but still functions fine. I can still read it. And basically what Ali talks about in Feel Good Productivity, among other things, is about making the process fun. And he talks about quests. So I've sort of retrospectively given what I did the name quest because that's really what they were. And it gave me structure to what I was doing, and the bite-sized chunks just made the whole thing feel more manageable, like I was winning. And the key really was focusing on enjoying the process, not just aiming for the outcome. So part 1, the study quests. What does it actually look like to turn your study into a game? For me, it was all about the quests. So actual tickable, satisfying to complete quests. So some of the study quests I had were to complete a certain number of Pomodoros. Or a certain number of study hours, but I did it as Pomodoros. So I wanted to get 1,000 study hours. So it was about 2,000 Pomodoros. I think actually exactly 2,000 Pomodoros. Every 25-minute session was a point, and I wanted to get to 2,000. And I set up key rewards at each major milestones. So when I hit 250, I got myself a massage. At 500, I got some new gym gear, and I can't even remember what I did at 1,000, but something like that. Another quest I had was to study in 10 different locations. So I treated this kind of like unlocking new game environments. So the cafe, the library, the local park, and it kept things fresh. I got a little burst of kind of motivation from the novelty of a new environment, and it just made it feel fun. I felt like I was achieving something and ticking something off. It's just good for the esteem and the motivation, like I said. Another quest I had was completing a certain number of practice exams. So you can say complete 20 exams and have a little reward of some kind. I mean, these things can be tiny. They can be running a bath or doing a really nice YouTube yin yoga session. And just the treat of being able to tick it off, the satisfaction. If you've got a sticker chart or however you want to do it. I did it in the reminders app of my phone, and I would just kind of tick each thing off once I'd done it. So I do say for the do 20 past exams, I would have that in the reminder, and then in brackets, I'd note every single time I've done one. And then once I've done them all, I tick the whole thing off. Another one I had was hit a 7-day Anki streak. So Anki's the virtual flashcard app that I use, and a lot of other people use it. And you can download little add-ons that'll show you your consistency, streaks, and they can give you little color maps and things that look really nice. But every time that I hit a 7-day streak, I got a little point. Part 2 was the life quests and these work-life balance quests, because there was study and then there was survival and feeling okay through the process. So some of the things I did for that were book 10 relaxation or self-care appointments. So a massage, a facial, getting my nails done, 10 sort of nice experiences that were a bit special scattered throughout the year. And I'd get a point every time I did one of those. Another one I had was do 50 of those calm breathing exercises. I absolutely love my Calm app. I've been paying for it actually since before I started working as a doctor in my second to last year of medical school, and I've continued the subscription since then. And one of my favorite parts of the app, because I'm not that good at being really consistent with the long meditations, but the little breathing exercises you can do and follow along for that go for 2 minutes, I love doing them and I find them really helpful. And so one of my quests for my study year was to do 50 of them throughout the year. Another life quest that I had was a little bit more vague, but it was find 5 ways to lighten the load. So this was really about outsourcing things that outside of work and study and play, enjoyment, were things that I didn't really want to do. They didn't fill me with joy, but I had to do them. Cleaning the house, doing the groceries, all of those things. So for example, one of the things I did was I got a cleaner every fortnight and I paid a subscription to get groceries delivered instead of having to go to the grocery store myself. It also made it really flexible. I could just do it whenever, late at night, early in the morning, put my shopping list together and then send it off to get delivered the next day. And then finally, one of my other quests was to do an average of 1 social activity a week. So 52 throughout the year, whether it was walk with a friend, coffee, a quiz night, whatever, 1 thing per week. It doesn't have to be huge, but just something. And then part 3 finally are the vibe quests. So these weren't about productivity. They weren't about necessarily looking after my body, mind and soul, but they were just about improving the vibe when I was trying to study. So one of the things was to buy 5 things to improve the vibe of my study space. So a nice lamp, a beautiful candle. I got a little incense holder with some incense just to make the room smell beautiful when I was studying, that kind of thing. Another was to do a certain number of kind of study with me via these sessions. You can find them on YouTube. I love the kind of Harry Potter ones, and a lot of them have Pomodoro built in, but you know, Gryffindor, common room, ambient noise, and you just have it on, if you've got a double display, that's really great, but you can have it on a display, you have the music playing or through your headphones, whatever, and it just sets the vibe. And I wanted to do, 20 of them throughout the year, and some of them go for a few hours, so that's really nice. So that's it. That's how I gamified my study period. So I was studying really hard for a year on top of my full-time shift work as a doctor, and it was okay. I didn't burn out and I looked forward to being able to tick things off. Study became something that I could win at, that I was actively achieving things each day when the slog otherwise seemed so endless. Plus, rest wasn't a distraction, it was part of the mission. And I think that really helped me overall. So, how to build your own quest system. 1, choose your quests. So you've got your study quests, your work-life balance quests, and your vibe quests. 2, make it trackable. So you can use a Google Doc or an Excel spreadsheet or Notion. I used the reminders app in my phone and that worked really well for me. But choose whatever you'd like. And apart from the satisfaction of ticking things off, it's really nice to have little treats and rewards along the way. So make up a few of those that you can add in and sprinkle in just to add some extra motivation. So studying is hard, exams are hard, but the process doesn't have to be hard all the time. You're already the main character. So you might as well make this exam a side quest rather than a burnout arc. Give yourself permission to make it playful, to make it satisfying, and to make it yours. And I've got a heap more videos about how I study in general or how I prepared specifically for the clinical exam if you're interested in those things. I'll see you next time. Bye.